Directed by Shinji Mikami and produced by Capcom, Resident Evil spawned many sequels, books, movies, you name it. It has accomplished many feats. To being having one of the worst dialogue and laughable voice acting ever in the game.
This house is dangerous. There are terrible demons. Ouch!
You're wounded.
No shit.
But despite this, the game was a monster success and is pretty much well known as one of the top horror games of all time in 1996. Until they remade it in 2002 and cemented this new and improved fear-inducing game for players with crisper graphics, remastered audio and sound, and slightly improved dialogue.
What the hell is this thing?
I found Kenneth killed by this thing. Let's report this to Wesker.
Slightly. Then, over time, horror games became dull, and the scary factor was pretty much put on the back burner to make room for Michael Bay action scenes. To which Capcom replied by digging up Resident Evil Remake's corpse and slapping on that HD sticker with a low price tag. But let's see if this is worth revisiting. Let's check out Resident Evil Remake HD. For the 360, because I'm broke as fuck. The story of Resident Evil starts off fairly simple. STARS, or S-T-A-R-S, Special Tactics and Rescue Service, sends its Alpha team on a search for Bravo team who have mysteriously disappeared in the forest of Raccoon City while investigating some grisly murders.
I wonder where they are?
Alpha team, consisting of Jill Valentine, Chris Redfield, Barry Burton, and Albert Wesker. Also, there's another member named Joseph Frost, but he's not that important, but you'll see why in a few moments. They are jumped up by helicopter, to which they find the wreckage of Bravo Team's helicopter and their dead pilot. Yeesh. Soon, though, they are ambushed by dogs that maul Joseph to death while Jill just stands there, gun drawn, and watches. You know, you do have a gun, you can, shoot. Just saying, the letter S in the acronym of STARS does not stand for stare. But there is rescuing, which is also the letter R in STARS. Just saying, help?
Joseph!
Luckily, though, Chris reminds her of the letter R by actually rescuing her. The surviving members regroup, but not before the pilot just says fuck it and leaves everybody by taking the only means of escape. STARS, Special Tactics and Rescue Group, persons. Team. With no options left, Alpha Team runs into the woods, stumbling across a mansion, which they think is abandoned. How convenient. As they make their way into the mansion, though, one of their members somehow just got lost? STARS? Special Tactics and Rescue Service? So they are forced to explore the mansion, to which they find the remains of Bravo Team, and much, much more for what they bargained for, like bioengineered monsters. The team must now search for survivors, uncover the truth behind the mansion, and escape this nightmare. And oh boy, the nightmares this game will produce will leave a lasting impression on you, like accidentally stumbling on scat porn. I should know. I mean about the game, because this is my 5th attempt on playing the first game and 2nd attempt on the remake version. The pre-rendered backgrounds and characters look very detailed, and it shows how much effort they put into the game to make everything look as realistic and as terrifying as possible. You can even feel the tone of the game from its claustrophobic setting and at times obscure camera angles, along with its tense music, which create an atmosphere that will make you just as paranoid as Jesse Ventura when it comes to conspiracies. That something or someone will jump out and attack you at any moment, like zombies or reptilian beings or whatever. Not to mention, though, that the scripted events, like the notorious hallway scare, will have players crapping their pants as they try to adapt to the situation by mostly just running away. Of course, avoiding these monstrosities is a reasonable choice. You do have an ace up your sleeve that can take these suckers down. And obviously, I'm not talking about throwing cards, because that's just silly. Although, I have seen some videos on YouTube that can tell otherwise, but I'm talking about guns. You can create some space between both you and your enemy, or in them, with some firepower scattered around the mansion like the beloved shotgun or the devastating Magnum. Even though these weapons are great for distance, there are others that only act as a defense use for those walking abominations if they get too close for comfort. And I mean close. But don't expect to go Resident Evil 4 on them, because ammo is scarce, as well as health items, inventory space, and saving. Yep, Saving is scarce, saving is limited. They don't call these games survival horror for nothing, kiddies, unless you want to just throw in modern survival horror, which should just be changed to modern BIFT horror, or modern BFD horror. BFD an acronym meaning bullets for days.
Life is like a box of ammo.
As shocking as it is, my ability to conjure decent acronyms is pretty much as low as the difficulty to play as Jill rather than Chris. I say this because although it's nice to have a choice between both genders in the game, they each have their own pros and cons. Some are more noticeable, like the inventory space of Jill is 8 while Chris is only 6. Others are learned through experience, like Chris is able to withstand more chomps than Jill and Joseph combined. These differences also continue into the story a bit, like whether you meet certain characters or how you progress through the game, which can create some replay value. Also attach multiple endings, alternate costumes, achievement trophies, unlockable guns, and modes that can greatly change how the game's being played, and making it well worth replaying a few times more. Now for some real talk. The game is really fun, and it's extremely challenging at times, which makes the success much more meaningful, like baking a cake with only vague clues. It can also turn people away from it though. You see, the game comes from a different era where the glory is in solving a puzzle that took hours and hours long, then reaching a checkpoint. The fixed camera angles, combined with the poor controls, will pretty much have you bump into things as often as a blind person walking around a heavy metal concert. But don't be scared by that though. As dead as Joseph Frost is, this game has a lot of life in it for its third rebirth to scare the living crap out of new gamers and create new experiences for them. As of right now, Resident Evil Remake HD is $20 and is on the Xbox 360, Xbox One, PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, and PC. If you got the dough, I suggest you go check it out.